So in this video, I wanted to tell you guys the top 5 iPhones that you could buy and resell to make the best profit possible after my personal experience as a phone reseller. This is going to be a quick little video just to give you guys a brief understanding. And the first phone is an iPhone 8 Plus. Now the thing with the iPhone 8 Plus is that it's a very new phone still in a lot of people's eyes, although it still does have a home button, which is kind of outdated. But you got to remember, not everybody's going to have money to buy the newest iPhones. So buying an iPhone 8 Plus will allow you to make a quick $50 profit every time you buy and resell phones. And on top of that, one thing that I really do like about it is the fact that it still has a very nice portrait mode camera, which the iPhones before that don't really have. The iPhone 7 Plus has it, but it's really just not as good quality. And on top of that, you're not going to get as much good resolution as you would with an 8 Plus. And I feel like a lot of people like the 8 Plus because it also supports wireless charging. So that's one thing to keep in mind. Next up is the iPhone 10. And the iPhone 10 is pretty much self-explanatory. It's the first iPhone to not have a home button. So a lot of kids want an iPhone 10. A lot of parents could only afford an iPhone 10 for a kid who wants one. And on top of that, if you guys were thinking about buying a phone to resell very fast, then an iPhone 10 is like the best way to go because you could easily negotiate the price down because it's a bit of an older phone. But after you negotiate the price down, it's also very easy to resell the phone because there are so many people looking for one. The iPhone 10 came out probably like 5 or 6 years ago from now, and I gotta tell you, this phone still sells like hotcakes. You are definitely gonna make your money back very fast, and I gotta say, it's one of my favorite phones to resell personally. Next up, you have the iPhone 11. Now the iPhone 11, I gotta say, is the first phone to, of course, have 2 cameras. As you guys can see, mine has 2 separate cameras, and that's like a completely unique design that's been used over and over by Apple. You have the iPhone 11, the iPhone 11 Pro Max, you have the iPhone 11 Pro, you have the iPhone 12, and just a bunch of cameras that are divided into those little circles. So a lot of people just want that new design, and the iPhone 11 has that. Now, normally when I'll buy an iPhone 11, I'd probably get it for like, I'll say $160, $150, and then I'll be able to resell it for $200 pretty easily. And sometimes you could even get an iPhone 11 for like $120. Now keep this in mind, I never used to actually fix screens when I used to purchase phones, but I gotta tell you, I tried fixing a screen for the first time the other day, and it actually was very easy. It takes about 30 minutes, just follow the step-by-step guide on YouTube, buy the replacement screen on Amazon for like $25 to $30, and just do it yourself, and your profit margins are gonna be insane. This is something that I'm considering as a side hustle right now, just because of the fact that it's very easy to purchase a screen and replace it, and if you guys were to replace the screen on a phone that's broken, you could up your profit margins by like 300%, because people will sell their cracked phone screens for a whole lot cheaper just because they assume that it's going to take a lot more to fix it. So if you could learn how to do this by yourself, you're going to make a whole lot of money. And on top of that, if you guys could replace the battery to increase the battery capacity, you could increase your profit margins that way as well. This is something that I've never done, but this is something that I'm going to try to do in the near future. And if that's something that you guys are already doing, please leave a comment down below and let me know how it's been going for you. I'd love to hear other people's experiences. So far I've listed the iPhone 8 Plus, the iPhone 11, and the iPhone 10. And those 3 phones are easily my top 3. I love those phones to death just because of the fact that I could sell them the same moment I purchased it. And one thing to keep in mind whenever you're reselling a phone or posting it up for sale is that your main goal is to take nicer photos than the person who sold it to you. A lot of times people who don't need their phones will take ugly pictures, and the pictures just seem very garbage for the most part, and people don't want to purchase it just because it seems like it wouldn't work. So if you clean the phone up, you have decent lighting like I do for this video, and you just take a few photos on your clear desk, then trust me, your phone's gonna sell extremely fast. The next phone that I really love to sell is the iPhone 11 Pro Max. And this one right here doesn't sell as fast as the other 3, but I gotta tell you, this one has the best profit margins and it still sells pretty fast. It takes about a day to a day and a half to sell, while the other ones would sell within 5 hours. But the iPhone 11 Pro Max, I gotta say, is easily the best phone to purchase to resell if you guys are looking to make a lot of money all at once, because people are just looking for that new camera that has 3 instead of just the 2 that the iPhone 11 has, which is why you get the iPhone 11 Pro. And the reason the iPhone 11 Pro Max is a great alternative to get is because that phone right there has the plus size version, which is appealing to people with bigger hands. A lot of people just want a bigger phone. Now, the only thing is, if you're going to be buying an iPhone 11 Pro Max as your first phone to resell, you got to keep in mind that it is a bit more expensive than the other options. The other options are like under $170, but this one over here is probably going to be a phone you purchase for like $290, $300, $310. It's going to be in that price range, so it's definitely a bit more costly, but it also depends on how many gigabytes the phone comes with and how many accessories it has with it. If you guys are looking to buy a phone, try to ask the person, does it have any phone cases, any chargers, any type of damage, and use all of those things to bring the price even lower. And then when you resell it, you make a larger profit margin. And if you buy one of these phones with a cracked screen, I can almost guarantee you'll be able to land a steal on this for like $170. And trust me, if you purchase a $30 screen, it means you would have paid $200 for this phone, and you could easily resell this thing for $350. That's $150 profit off of one phone. Now imagine you buy 3 of those phones every day, you spend 3 hours repairing each screen for 1 hour. Your profit margins are going to be insane. $300 a day is over 6 figures a year. And I gotta tell you personally, the only reason I'm considering this even as a college student is just because of how much money you could make. So if you guys are gonna be fixing those screens, I'm telling you it's gonna make you a lot more money. And the last phone that you could purchase in order to make a whole lot of money is an iPhone 12. The iPhone 12 really isn't as crazy as the iPhone 11 Pro Max, nor is it as crazy as the iPhone 11, the 10, or the 8 Plus, but the iPhone 12 is like a good little baseline for a high-end phone, but a very affordable phone at the same time. It's pretty much just an upgraded iPhone 11 with flat bezels on the sides, and for the most part, it's a pretty small phone as well, but it looks very appealing to a lot of people who are looking to purchase a new device. From my experience phone reselling, I've probably sold about 5 of these, and the only reason that I put it on this list is just because every time I've bought it, it would sell like this, but it wouldn't sell for as much money as I'd expect, because although it is a newer phone, people still kind of compare it to the iPhone 11, so they always try to bring the price down to that same range. The only thing is that the iPhone 12 has a much better camera, so it's always good to let people know the details of the phone that you're selling them, because if you could persuade them to understand why the phone is worth so much, then you could obviously probably knock in like an extra $10, $20 profit in there without them having to negotiate too low. Another thing that I really love to do whenever I'm selling a phone to somebody is telling them that I could meet them halfway, because a lot of times people might be coming from 30 minutes out, and if you tell them you'll meet them 15 minutes away from where they live, then you'll be saving them some time, and then on top of that, they'll be willing to pay a little bit more, even if it's like an extra $10 or $20. And we both know 15 minutes worth of driving is not $10 or $20 worth of gas, so you're gonna be making a quick profit. Now, personally, I haven't sold a phone in probably 3 weeks. The last video that I made talking about phone reselling was actually a very good video, so you guys should check that out. But in that video, I bought an iPhone 10 and flipped it as fast as possible. And I gotta tell you, that's the main reason that phone just seems so appealing to me. I could buy it the same day and it'll sell the same day. And on top of that, if you guys don't want to buy the iPhone 10, the iPhone 10s is a great alternative. It is going to be a little more expensive, but it's also good to make sure that people know it's the 10s, so make sure you include that in the title. Now, whenever you're putting your phone up for sale and making any listings, like I said, take some very nice photos. If it has accessories, list the accessories in the description. Go ahead and take photos of the accessories separately so it looks a bit more appealing, and go ahead and tell people all the information that they need in that description. Make sure you let them know the phone is not reported lost or stolen, and please make sure that it's not actually reported lost or stolen before you put that. Make sure that you show them any type of damage the phone might have. On top of that, make sure that you have a good idea of how far they are from you, and make sure to always meet up in a public location that is safe. Normally, I would recommend a police department. I've only met up there a few times, but normally I'll go to carrier stores, for example, or I'll meet up inside of a convenience store like a Walgreens with a lot of cameras, anything that'll keep you safe, because you gotta remember your safety is a priority. For the most part, phone reselling is definitely a great side hustle to consider. A lot of people might say it's saturated or it's dying down, but keep in mind, every September a new iPhone comes out, and every time a new iPhone comes out, there's a lot more people looking to sell their old phones to purchase the new ones, and that's right about this time of year right now. The new Apple devices are coming out, and it's really that time to make as much money as possible. So start buying phones, reselling them, and trust me, you're gonna make your money back pretty much in the same 2 days that you purchase it. So if you guys did enjoy this video, make sure you smash the like button, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and of course turn on post notifications. And also, if you guys are new to the channel, make sure you go ahead and check out all the previous phone reselling videos that I've made. I've documented my entire process phone reselling for the first time. I've also made a few other videos after having some more experience, and I gotta tell you guys, I'm pretty happy with the side hustle. So if you guys are interested in giving it a shot, let me know how it goes for you, and I'll make sure to reply to as many comments as possible. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next one.